Welcome back, Title Shiners. Here is the Undisputed Champion. Thank you for coming back, guys. I'm sure you all saw the unboxing video. In this video, we're actually going to go in-depth comparison for the 2004 Undisputed version 2 versus the brand new 2020 Undisputed version 2. So no more else to say, really. Let's get into it. And here they are next to each other. The 2004 Undisputed version 2 at the top, and the 2020 Undisputed version 2 down the bottom. So you can already see the brand new version 2 has a bigger curve, undoubtedly bigger curve. And then the original version 2 also has a minor curve, but I added that myself. As original, comes flat. This one also has cut-angle nameplate. Okay, so I think we start at the straps first. So, first of all, this strap has stitching around the edges, which is not accurate. And also, it has the snap box actually, stitched onto the actual strap. Whereas the new one has no stitching around the borders and has no snap box stitched on. First replica I've actually got without it being stitched on, so it's pretty cool and is more accurate. As I showed in the last video, the WWE Champion logo is more accurate in this, as it's within the borders here, the two lines, almost keeping it in line across the whole strap. It goes around the entire belt. And on the original one, it has WWE Champion, but it's not in TV accurate style. Well, not for the version 2 anyway. Same sort of etching around the sides as the US title replica, tag team title, intercontinental title, pretty much all the Ruthless Aggression era titles. Okay, we look at the first plate here. I'll show you first quickly. Oh, actually, I'll show that after. So, as shown in the last video, you can see that it really goes into a lot of detail down here in the floral design, like the feather up the side there. Just looks incredible. And WWE logo with thick black paint, and of course 6mm plate. And that is in contrast to the 2mm plate, the original version 2. Now, I'm not going to say the etching's terrible on this. It's not deep at all, but I mean, you can still pinpoint what it is. Like, you can still see the feathering up the side, like I just showed in the new one. The logo has a bigger TM here. But yeah, as you can see, it's just not as much depth with the 2mm plates, which is obvious. Sit them both next to each other. There you go, you can see them there. Much, much better on the new one. Now, as we come into the next plates, we'll go the 2020 first, we see even more differences take place, well, much bigger differences. So, of course, the 6mm plate, the beautiful etching, you can actually hear when scratched, not that I'm going to be scratching it. The line in all gold, the shield in black, and you can actually make out what the text says. It's actual letters. Well, the floral design. Now on the original, we have a lot of black paint, which, as I mentioned, was probably due to the Hulk Hogan one he held for 2 weeks in 2002, which was a version 1 anyway, but that had more black paint. You can see the design going up the side very clearly because of black paint. The lion the shield's actually got a black outline and not black in the background, whereas the new one has a gold outline and black in the middle, which is the accurate one. And there we go. In the text, it is just dots, no text at all. And the etching, it's not awful, but it's not thick. 2mm plates, can't expect too much. For the time, it was great. But in 2020, there's just no comparison. I'll just show you pictures of both the side plates that I took, just comparison, just up close and crisp, the writing and such. And again, there they are side by side. Even on the new one, it's a richer gold versus the more lighter gold on the old version 2. It could be due to age too, but it's definitely noticeable. Now, onto the main plate. First of all, you can see there is no black paint down the bottom here, or here down the side. You got the stars coming out with the black paint there, which is accurate, so that's okay. No black paint at the top, which is always the most obvious part. And one of my favourite parts of this build is how the eagle just pops now because there's no black paint underneath. So it sort of just sits alone on top of the globe, which I love. You can see it's a bit deeper now too with the black paint sitting in there. You can see it's a little bit of depth. Not massive, but it is there. Champion banner, nameplate. There's the version 2, 2020 version. And now, black paint around the gem. And again, there's the stars and more black paint, and up the top. And there's the eagle. Still very cool. And again on the other side, just unnecessary paint, which is so frustrating. The Kurt Angle nameplate, that's definitely a thumbs up for the version 2, the original one. But obviously not the belt itself, that's just coincidence. The painting here is really thick. It's pretty close, but it's just not as thick. The eagle does still pop, but not as much. From the angle, you can still see the paint is a little bit different. Like the gold's a bit different in colour underneath the black paint. That's why people can just do the paint removal. And there's the 04 with a slight curve, as I said I added before. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the original version 2 is actually slightly bigger. It's taller, but not as wide. But on the camera it sort of looks like the new one. It's a bit bigger, but that's not actually the case. I'll try and line them up in the middle. I mean, the curve's obviously obvious, and you can actually tell the new one is thicker. But the original one is slightly bigger overall. I'll try and get it closer before I finish the video. And then again, we've got those two same plates, and the strap, which is just the design of this strap is awesome. I love how it's accurate coming down the sides. Nothing to mention, the spacing between the plates here is a bit bigger than the original, which I think is quite nice. It just separates the plates, making them a lot more obvious. And there you go, you can see the paint difference there at the top. The eagle just popping. More than that. Beautiful. Okay, so here we go. The 6th plate, which finished up on the version 2. Version 3 no longer had it, and it didn't ever since. So property of World Wrestling Entertainment versus property of World Wrestling Ent Inc. Now the Ent Inc. is actually accurate, even though you wouldn't think it is the accurate one. And again, going to the texturing and detail, like look at that down the side, that is just stunning. Like look at the feathering up this side. So much detail in this belt, it's beautiful. Even on the strap there, really nice. And then the version 2. It's there, but just it's not anywhere near the new one and the strap. Still got the tooling correct there, just not around the edges. Now I'll bring it up next to it. So now you can sort of just see the thickness in one shot. Look at the difference there. I think that actually is the telltale shot right there. It's just night and day difference in detail. And this is how far WWE Shop has come in 16 years, or actually less, because that's just my model. They made the version 2 for longer. Now if you just give me a second, I'm actually going to strap them both up and I'll show you them next to each other to show you the size difference. And back. I'm hoping you can see here that the version 2 on the right, the 04, is taller. You can see that just up the top. So if I draw my finger across from the top here, it will reach sort of top of the W area there. But the new one is slightly wider, which is more accurate. It's just a much nicer looking belt in proportions and detail. Just the whole lot. I mean, look. I mean, both belts are great in their own right, but if you were to choose one, the brand new version 2, there is no question about it. It's stunning. Best Undisputed to come out of WWE, without a doubt, replica belt-wise. And as I said in the unboxing, I'm a big fan of the version 2 anyway. I prefer the black outline. Yeah, it's just awesome. And so that's the comparison, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And as I said in the last video, any more detail you want to see, just comment and I'll see if I can get it up to you. Yeah, just, I mean, look at it popping there, where the paint is no longer. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.